Welcome to the Federal Register Digest. Today is Thursday, October 30th, 2025. Federal policy updates can shape the rules for business, consumers, and the environment in ways that aren't always obvious. But this week's Federal Register brings a few headline proposals and decisions worth highlighting for stakeholders watching regulatory change. Stay tuned. Our first update of the day comes from the Department of Homeland Security. The DHS ends automatic extension for employment authorization renewals. They published an interim final rule that ends automatic extensions of the employment authorization documents upon renewal application filings. This means renewal applicants will not be authorized to work after their EAD expires unless a new authorization is approved. The rule aims to strengthen eligibility vetting for immigration benefits, prioritizing national security and public safety concerns. Affected individuals and employers may see income loss or workforce disruptions if renewal processing times exceed EAD expiration dates. DHS advises timely application to help avoid gaps. This update is of a procedural nature, no standard notice and comment period, but DHS has prepped public-facing analysis for transparency. We've got three announcements from the EPA today. First, the air quality determination in Mariposa County, California. The EPA determined that the Mariposa County area in California attained the 2015 Ozone National Ambient Air Quality Standard by the August 2024 deadline. Based on monitoring data from 2021 to 2023, local contingency planning requirements for air quality can be lifted, marking a milestone for pollution reduction in the region. This action followed a 30-day comment period which ended July 3, 2025. The EPA received no public comments. In their second announcement, the EPA granted an exemption from the tolerance requirement for residues of a new polypeptide biopesticide, ASF-BIOF0102, in a food and feed commodities. The rule allows broader use of this product with no need for a maximum permissible residue level under normal applications and conditions. This streamlines approval for a new pesticide tool targeted at agriculture, potentially affecting crop producers and food manufacturers. Filed by December 29, 2025 at EPA docket EPAHQOPP 202-10157 for any objections or requests for hearing. In its final announcement of the day, the EPA published new technical guidance and decisions around Regional Haze State Implementation Plans, SIPs, setting standards for states on pollution controls needed to improve visibility in national parks and wilderness areas. This affects long-term state air quality planning, emissions monitoring, and visibility goals for protected environments. A recap of requirements for public input, technical documentation, and regulatory review of the SIP amendments are in the procedural updates. In our final update, bank regulators propose limits on reputation risk enforcement. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency and FDIC propose rules to prohibit bank supervisors from taking enforcement actions based solely on reputation risk. This move comes after growing calls for greater clarity and consistency in regulatory standards, especially around institutions' business relationships deemed controversial for non-financial reasons. For those unfamiliar, reputation risk is the threat or danger to the good name, standing, or credibility of a business or organization. It arises when actions or circumstances cause stakeholders, including customers, employees, investors, and the public, to lose trust or confidence in the entity. If finalized, banks would no longer face supervisory penalties or restrictions based solely on factors like public image or lawful but disfavored business activities. Reduced compliance burden and greater business certainty are expected for banks and their customers. Agencies seek input on how well their proposal defines and prohibits reputation risk actions, suggested improvements, unintended consequences, and impacts on small institutions. Comments may be submitted through the regulations.gov, OCC docket ID OCC 20250142, in the FDIC comment portal. Deadlines are listed in the official notice. Thank you for listening to today's Federal Register Digest. As mentioned, several rules and proposals are open for public comment or objections, particularly in the banking reputation risk proposal and biopesticide exemption. Go to regulations.gov or the agency's sites for deadlines, docket numbers, or steps needed to take part. Stay tuned for tomorrow's digest as we continue to break down the policy shifts shaping the nation. Thank you, and have a great day.